so number one, this is our first paradox. This statement is false. How many people believe that statement is true? How many people believe that statement is false? All right, this is an example of a self-referential paradox. That means when we're looking at ourselves of what's wrong, what's true about ourselves, what's false about ourselves, it's really hard to read the label from inside the bottle. We can't refer back to ourselves. We can't see our own blind spots and bottlenecks because they're blind spots. That's the paradox. This is called the liar's paradox. Two things can't be false at the same time. When you think about mathematics, there's also the negative numbers. If you multiply two negative numbers together, you get a positive number. But if you multiply two positive numbers together, you're still positive. And I think that happens in organizational change as well. But more often than not, in business, what we run into is two things can be true at the same time. If you invest in technology to grow your business, that might be a good idea. But investing in your people to grow your business might also be a good idea. Two things can be true at the same time. Here's another one. If all the parts of a ship are replaced piece by piece, is it still the same ship? How many people think it's the same ship? How many people think it's a new ship? All right, what about your organization? If you replace everyone in your organization, is it still the same company? If you replace everyone on your sales team, is it still the same team? Do you still have the same culture? This paradox is about change and growth. Whenever we're trying to grow our business, over time, weird things happen. Parts get replaced over time. Things change over time. One salesperson leaving and adding a new one to your team can dramatically change the culture, and we can't measure the unmeasurable. So what happens is if you take a snapshot of your culture today and you take a snapshot of your culture this afternoon, it's already different. Time creates these paradoxes and change where things are no longer the same. You're not the same person as you were yesterday from all of the stuff that you learned. Does that make sense? Third example of a classic paradox is, can you save your way out of an economic recession? Can we save our way out of an economic recession? How many people say yes? Oh, not too many people. How many people say no? All right, that's everybody. This is the paradox of thrift. We can't save our way out of a recession collectively because we need money. We need business to be done. Somebody has to spend money in order for us to grow our business or to grow the economy of our country or the world. And this happens a lot in sales and marketing too, right? We can't cut our sales team to save their salaries and expect our sales to go up, our revenue to go up. We can't cut our marketing budget and expect that we grow our revenues either. Sometimes we have to do the opposite of what would make sense in order to get the results that we desire. And that's mostly what I'm going to be talking to you about this morning, is where in our business are the areas, specifically in culture and personal growth and investment in technology, where the opposite is true. You might make a decision that seems logical, but it brings the opposite result. So these are all examples of classic paradoxes. These are important in math and logic and philosophy because they identify contradictions, inconsistencies. They give us some systems of thought that we can challenge and see where they don't apply and where they should. Specifically this morning, I wanted to talk to you about technology. So a lot of you know about my Sandler background. I've been in the Sandler business for 30 years. My dad bought his franchise when I was in high school, and before that he was even teaching me these philosophies and psychology tricks when I was in preschool. My earliest memory of my Sandler trainer father is I was getting picked on by a bully, and he would come take the toy every recess that I wanted to play with. And my dad said, "Oh, that's easy. You just go find a toy you don't want to play with, act like it's the coolest one in the room, he'll come steal that, and then you go pick the toy that you really wanted." Right? So that's kind of the place that I'm coming from. But I've also been a lover of technology. That I wrote our LinkedIn book, LinkedIn the Sandler Way. I've designed over 200 websites for the Kansas City Chiefs, large other Kansas City companies. I broadcasted them online for the first time. People got to listen to the Kansas City Chiefs around the world and the internet in the 2000s. And I've always been an early adopter. My father also instilled that in me in a way that I love to jump on the bandwagon, to learn new things, to challenge thoughts and find new tools that will make my life better and make my company better and find ways that I can apply them.